we
here.
doing, my man?
What's that?
I said, how we doing, my man?
We are doing. We're here.
We're a little lower. We don't know how we like that.
I don't know yet. We're working with it, Randy. We're
I
doing
know, right?
the thing. You know, we're doing the best we can here every single day.
We're up too high. We don't like the couches. We don't like the fucking high chairs. We got a new table. It's got fucking legs that don't belong on it, so we can't touch the table. But
it's just for looks, people. That's all it is.
yeah, but we've got our accoutrements and our different TV size. So yeah, so the ever-changing set, as they say.
You let us know what you like. Down in the comments below, you can tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, let us know what you like, and we're still going to do what we want to do.
Yeah. I mean, your input does matter, though. So, but yeah, we're still gonna evolve and try different things.
Yeah. How you been?
Busy, man. Busy. This week's been pretty productive. We just did a ruck this morning, the crew and I. So it's been fun. That vlog will be up probably sometime next Sunday.
Ruck, is that a term? Is that a
yeah? The rucking is basically taking a rucksack. You put a whole bunch of weight in it.
Oh, that's what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like a workout.
It's a
an
workout.
exercise thing.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
The rucksack I usually carry has approximately 40 pounds of weight in it with a steel plate that's about approximately 25. So, yeah, we just load them bitches up and we go out and we walk. We go up inclines. We check out these different parks and all that stuff. It's been fun.
So, is any of you guys wearing like a Fitbit or a smartwatch or anything?
I got the Samsung watch that I have, and
Counts your steps and your calories and all that?
Does all that, yeah.
So what do you think? What are you doing?
I don't know. Let's see. Let's take a look at what I got in so far.
Most people like monitor that thing every 10 minutes. I did 45 steps. I just lost a calorie.
Oh, God, no. I don't count calories. I'm trying to get calories, man. 7,415 steps so far today.
No.
To date, as right now. 7,415. So burned 421 calories.
And that's the thing. You know, I'm no nutritionalist, but, you know, it's still, that's good for the body, good for the soul, good for the mind, whatever, but still got to watch what you eat. It's all about what you put in your mouth, man.
You can't be eating McDonald's every day.
No. I mean, 400 calories for the amount of, how long were you out there? 2 hours?
Approximately an hour, a little over an hour or so.
Gotcha.
And then, the drive and all that stuff. And then, of course, the filming part of it, because we made this into a creation now. So it's part of the whole thing.
Another podcast.
Mother Ruckers is what it's called. So go check it out.
Yeah, I mean, but 400 calories, it's like, when you look at 2 fucking Oreos or, Chips Ahoy or pretty much anything you eat, that's almost gone.
It's gone.
Hour, 2 hours worth of working out. So,
yeah,
you always got to watch what you're putting in your mouth.
Yeah. That's what she said.
So,
hey.
Careful of the table.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it already broke off a piece.
What are you guys doing for Eclipse Day tomorrow?
So, God, tomorrow, by the time you're... everything's falling apart here. Everything is going to be happening to you after the fact because the solar eclipse is tomorrow as we record this. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it because I'm not going to be sure how it's going to go.
Yeah, the 3 minutes of it.
The 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Get your glory.
I will be on the road for work. I'm going to try to... Well, no, I am going to see this thing.
Yeah, I mean, set an alarm and fucking pull over or something.
I'll just...
Now, I hear it's going to be cloudy, so...
Oh, really?
Is it? Yeah.
Beautiful day like today, and you think it'd be like that
Dude, this is awesome day today, but like the next 3 or 4 days are going to be cloudy, it says. So we'll see if we even get anything out of it,
I'm hoping we can see this thing in its glory. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. I mean, I think there's going to be another one in 2044. I don't know. I'll be 53 at that point, so... Yeah,
I don't even want to do that math.
My son will be 20, man.
Fucking watching it from the nursing home window.
They'll wheel me out to the lawn. Back in the day in 20...
Yeah. I caught the first one. I remember it was cloudy. Yeah, and there's already fucking conspiracy theories I saw on that.
Dude.
It's like, look at what, I don't know. They're probably blaming Biden or whoever.
They already are, man. They're saying that you see...
It's like the hurricanes and this and that, and it's all, see, if none of this happened when Trump was president.
You're going to see flashes in the sun as the solar eclipse happened, and you're going to see... Alex Jones, his fucking voice. You're going to see, vote Biden every time. That's what they're saying. And I'm like,
and
dude,
it's like, again, man, we're not Trump, Biden, whatever, but I mean, just stupidity is fucking stupidity.
this is tinfoil hat
Yeah,
shit
it's just,
at
come
its
on.
finest. It's crazy, man, how people will sit there in their mom's basement at 35 years old and think, how can I fuck with society today? How can I fuck with them?
But Harold, it's not even that. It's politicians and I mean, it's people in the Senate, in Congress
All of them.
that are talking about this crap. I mean, these are people that we hired. So on that note, again, and then we'll get off the politics. We do this. I mean, we touch on them every time, and then we're
Get
off.
into this every time.
Just go vote, man. I know this seems like this is definitely going to be a voting cycle where I think there's, as many people came out and voted last time, I think a lot of people just don't like the choice, and they're just going to sit home and do nothing. They're going to, and that's not exercising, something that you should cherish.
Yeah, write in someone like Dave
The right to
Chappelle or
vote.
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. I mean, these two choices. How can we go through the cycle again? I don't know. Like you said, though, we get on this topic and someone out there's already commenting. They're typing away. This fucking politics stuff has got to stop.
Well, look, one man doesn't run anything.
No, you're right.
I don't run this podcast. You're a super huge help with that. I don't run this club all by myself. I mean, a lot of it, yeah. But, I couldn't do it with a couple people that have been grounded here for, years. That continuity is, that stableness makes me more stable, with this business more stable. That's why it's succeeded as long as it has. We won't, and that's as far as we'll go on that.
Yeah.
That subject too, because we.
Well, let's just put it this way: talking music ain't going anywhere. So.
Yeah, this club ain't going anywhere either.
No.
So.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, whatever.
We're here. We're doing the damn thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that all being said, for the few people that watch, I mean, chime in. Again, interaction is everything, man.
Yeah, because, we don't need to wrap posters around stuff, in places that people won't see it to get out there. We have you, the loyal listeners who not only view and tune in, but share, like, hit subscribe, and follow, because that's important.
Yeah. I mean, again, anything that you engage with online, I don't think people know, because we're constantly changing things here at the club, all the marketing strategies and everything we're doing, just trying to, figure out the best way to get the word out to people. And I know that, like I said, we've only got where are we? 5, 6? What number episode will this be?
This would be
6,
number
7?
8, I think.
8, okay.
I think when we talked about the bridge collapsing, I think I almost messed up.
We did that last time.
I almost messed up and put episode 6, but then I realized we already did an episode 6, so that was 7. This is going to be 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we've just, we enjoy it, but we've done a lot of yapping, and we're just getting off the ground. 8 episodes sounds like a lot, but we're gonna get more content, and it is picking up traction though. Every time I see you, I tell you, it's like this entity reached out, and this one wants to come on, and
yes.
So whether it's the unplugged, unfiltered thing that you're doing in between show sets and stuff like that. So yeah, reach out on that too, man. Like I said, I'm going to come up and set in on it from here and there. We've got another interview set in June. We can't really say much about just yet. It's a local band, going to be a big show of theirs, and we're going to do that one down on the stage. So there's many facets of just ideas that we have of doing something new. And I know every time we get on here and bore everybody with what we're going to do with this podcast. Sorry, but. And we do that because we don't want you to think that it's always going to be the same, where it's just us two sitting here. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing
I mean,
wrong
as much as we change the couches to the chairs, to the table, to the chairs, to the back,
to the smaller TV, to the big TV.
That's something that we're going to change. Every week we come up with a new idea of something to do, something to be more interesting.
Next week we're recording from Wendy's live. I'm just kidding.
I'm not available for that.
Me neither. I'm not going there.
The cool thing is we both, I've been actively reaching out for sponsorships for quite some time. During COVID, it all fell off. I mean, I started a podcast. It was more of an audio podcast, which, by the way, we're going to try to little by little get all of these over to the Anchor, which is now owned by Spotify.
Yep.
So we'll have all the audio version, because I know a lot of people just drive and do stuff, and I know that through the analytics we can watch and see that some people check in and watch the whole podcast we do. Some people watch a few seconds. Some people watch a few minutes. So to have it in audio where people are driving and they can just listen, it'll probably be a little easier to grasp. But we did get a what they call freshman sponsorship from Liquid Death. We'll tell you more about that, and we'll be plugging in those advertisements into the middle of the podcast. I've got to get a little bit more information from them. They want us to plug a certain part of their brand. But that's super exciting, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not a huge podcast by any stretch, and we've already got, a pretty notable sponsor that wants us to not do so much with the water, but some of the new products that they have coming out, which is totally fine with us.
Yeah, it was great.
So yeah, and we're doing all that kind of stuff and shows.
Tons of shows.
Came off a great weekend, 3 in a row. Thursday, the Vampires Everywhere, and then we did the Rush tribute. That band, I think, is just going to keep growing every time we do them.
Yeah.
We doubled, if not more than doubled, the crowd from the last time. I mean, phenomenal, man. These guys are just great. I've done 3. All were good. We've done XYZ. I'm going to fuck up that. Why not? We've done Why Not in here, female singer. We've done Rush Project, and we've done, the Analog Kids. Like them all, but I think that Analog Kids is the truest representation of Rush. And, the 3-piece form, bass player doing the singing, vocals are nearly spot on. So yeah, good, cool weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Analog Kids.
This weekend, I will plug our calendar. It's the New Metal something. And it's a DJ, by the way. I guess there was some confusion when this went to like Buffalo or Syracuse. People thought it was a full band.
Oh, okay.
It's a DJ. So it's a lot like an emo Brooklyn night, night, one of those.
Okay.
So if you're just wondering about it, you're curious about it, new metal shit, just go to the website. Because I don't want to name it off wrong, so that if you're going to Google it, you got the right information. But yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of shows happening here at the Montage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
You can always go to the website, check out the schedule. There's just calendars up there, and I'm sure. And there's oh wow, that was fun.
And you and I will be announcing an endeavor that we have. We're going to throw a festival this summer.
Yeah, we're going to dabble into this.
So
it's going to happen.
Local bands, watch your inboxes, because we're going to be reaching out and trying to get this thing in the next week or two packed full and confirmed and announced.
Yeah.
So, but we're going to announce what it is on Tuesday at noon, and we'll take it from there and keep you posted. We're pretty excited about it because it's.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
So let's talk about it verbally a little bit. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a festival in July. Not going to say the date just yet, because then we're giving away a lot. But this is going to be, revolve around the podcast. And we're going to stream some of it live on YouTube. We're going live. We're going to do bands interviews upstairs.
Oh, yes.
M-Balm is probably going to do some stuff downstairs. I mean, I know you got you got more merch and all, so there's probably going to be tables set up.
Yep.
It's the whole thing. But it's, again, we're constantly thinking about what we can do to just musically, the club. I mean, you're a little, got some advice in that every once in a while, and probably get more and more involved with what the Montage is doing outside of the podcast. And you're more than welcome. But yeah, we are going to be doing like a 2-day festival thing here called Podfest. So we're going to announce a little bit more of it on Tuesday at noon, and it's going to be a cool thing that no one has done before, where we're actually on site and going live.
We're going to go live, and this is something that I really anticipate, because I've always had this idea of just going live at different venues or different places, and this would be huge, especially with it being a fest. You have all the bands here from the local scene, and you got Rock Hard, Unplugged and Unfiltered happening up here, and God knows what else we're going to have going on down there.
Yeah.
So it is going to be one hell of a time, so I would just keep my eyes and ears peeled for Tuesday.
Yeah, just something different, man, that, again, every band will be highlighted throughout the 2 days in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I don't know that we'll get everybody upstairs.
Yeah.
But I think that what you and I will do is probably map out the interviews up here as best we can, and obviously get some of those bands some clips live, and we're not going to do full sets. We're just going to do snippets of whatever. Some of the bands that we may not have time to get everybody up here, we'll do a little bit more of them from the stage.
Yeah.
I think that's so that we can sort of even out who gets what. And trust me, this isn't, when we do something like this, I do something like this, it'll be this year, maybe we'll do one, so this will be a summer event. We'll end up doing another one in the fall.
Yeah.
Because I have no qualms that this thing is going to be huge. It's going to be great.
It's an inception of
Yeah.
something that could possibly kick off. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
We
we'll
don't
do
know.
it. I mean, it'll be a
try.
two times a year thing, I think.
Yeah, and let's make the best of it because not for nothing, but Rochester isn't the hugest podcast location.
No.
Those that have a podcast are out there doing it. I'm one of them. We're one of them, and I plug all of them on our M-Balm Effect podcast as well. So support your podcast scene.
Yeah, I mean, there was years ago I was telling you that the club I was at when I got my start, that's when streaming live and whatever was a thing, and partner and owner that I worked with at that time, was thinking about doing it. And I was never a big advocate of that. It's like, no, I don't want to, I want people here.
Yeah.
Live music is live music.
Yeah.
I don't want people sitting home watching something on a desktop or whatever the case may be. So this isn't going to be that. Again, it's not going to be full sets. It's going to be snippets going live. You and I'll have to work out whether these interviews are going to go live or maybe some will be live, some will be recorded.
That would be an
we
interesting
maybe do a little
concept.
of each. Yeah.
That would be an interesting concept.
I also we're working on to where, I really want to try and see if we can do like live streaming, where we have a guest and maybe they're on something behind us where we're sitting a little cockeyed, and so we've got to work all that out too.
Yeah.
Harold and I both are big advocates of like wanting to do these in person. I mean, like today, it's been kind of difficult to get schedules together. We're going to try to do these on Sundays, but he's got a thing that he does in the morning and whatnot. We like to do these in person. And even when we do some interviews with people in other towns, other states, other cities, whatever, those are going to be something where they're streamed. So I want to figure out maybe how we can get, even if it's like right there on that size screen, we don't, certainly need to bring the 65-inch, and we're talking to somebody like in the studio, but on the TV, that's in their home. So yeah, we've got to figure out with our platform how we can do that. But that's something I really am looking forward to us figuring out how to do.
Yeah, absolutely. We have those remote capabilities, and we should utilize them to the best of our ability. So we can get a lot of different guests on here, and that's the goal.
What else is going on in your world?
Man, my son's going to be 8 months here in a few days. It's from August to now, it's just been a blur, man. It's been a blur. It's been crazy.
You guys going to put him in baby care during the day, or wife going to stay home with them, you think?
So we go both to work, and we send our son to my in-laws.
Oh, gotcha.
So my mother-in-law, shout out to her. She's
that's a
very helpful. Thank you very much.
Beautiful advantage.
Yes, she goes and spends time with them, and it's a good thing, man. So
that'll be awesome if that can always be the case. Because man, you send your kids off to daycare and even nursery school and whatever. It's just like a cesspool of fucking germs. And, and then you're paying, the kid's sick and you're taking off time to, have to be home with the kid and whatever. So if in-laws, I was lucky enough, man, that I was in this business and in radio when my daughter, when she was born, and I was pretty much, I stayed home with her and was able to do some work at home during the day. I mean, good God, when you think about it, like work at home is a thing now. It wasn't then, but I was lucky enough to where I didn't have to report into the office because I was, in marketing, and, for the most part, I was a weekend warrior. That was a lot of my hours, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays with live remotes and everything else. So I got to stay home with her, and it was amazing, and me and my wife would, kind of high five at the door on her way in, my way out. So yeah, I mean, if that's what you can work out, man, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be very overwhelming as a new parent. So for some of you out there that are expecting, congratulations first off, and second off, it's going to be overwhelming. And honestly, it's one of those things where you will figure it out as it goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just like life, man. Everything happens for a reason. You
Yeah.
know, I wholeheartedly believe that. Oh, you know, I was going to tell you. You know, I've been telling you about this TEMU. Is it TEMU?
TEMU.
Yeah, let's go with
TEMU?
that. So I've been a little obsessed with that. I got on that bandwagon because I'm preaching to the choir with you. I think because you're a gadget guy.
I love
gadgets.
gadgets.
Me too, man. To a fault, you know. So I've already had a couple bundles come in the house. I was gonna, not do it today, but we're not gonna turn this podcast by any stretch into what do they call those? Like when an unboxing podcast. You know what I mean?
review,
But
yeah.
I am going to show you all because you know what, man? Why not?
Yeah.
I'm so I've said this multiple times on here. I'm a big podcast guy. I learn a lot from that. I mean, there's you can sit. I don't think TV's great anymore anyways. I mean, we all grew up on TV and sitcoms and whatever. That was what it was, movies or whatever. Television just doesn't have content that's really relative, man. And I'd rather watch like little short things. I seem like I have a lesser and lesser attention span these days. So to get these little snippets of stuff, especially anything that's going on in the world of news, because I don't want somebody else's version being shoved down my throat.
No.
And if you watch, nightly news has turned into that for the most part. Yeah. I think the only news that you can watch is the morning news on ABC, CBS, and NBC. That pretty much just reports the news without the people behind the mic having an opinion.
Yeah.
So I do graze over that. I record it all. I'll watch, the headlines, so to speak. And then I move on, dude, and I'm like a YouTuber for the rest of the day. I've got my peeps, you got your peeps, I'm sure. I watch that kind of stuff. That's kind of where, and I educate myself there. But, so this TEMU stuff, man, is just, so yeah, anyway, I've done some ordering. I've got some stuff coming in.
This will be fun.
Yeah, and I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to do a little bit of unboxing, and I'll tell you about it and what it costs, and I'll let you take a look at it and see what it's like. I can say that I've opened some packages, and there's some things I'm sending back, and they were the more expensive ones, so that makes sense. But I would say that it's 70%
good.
thumb up, not thumb down.
Oh, okay.
Green check, not red check.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
Yeah. Well, tools and cables and, And I know there was a whole lot of controversy. Sorry, I don't look at the camera a lot, but I feel like I'm talking, I'm like morning news, but.
Morning news.
What was I saying? Lost my train of thought. Well, yeah, but it's some of the stuff you're just going to get. You just don't try to buy like a camera, a video recorder, for $25 off of TEMU.
Yeah, you're not going to get a PlayStation 5 for $15 on
Well, now that I'm not going to get into. That's nothing that I would want. So I'm not a gamer. I don't do. But there's a bunch of people on YouTube that do TEMU reviews and whatnot.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of young kids, and they've got a shit ton. There's a bunch of young kids with channels that strictly do unboxing of different things, and a lot of it lately has been focusing on. I know where I was going, and I'll get back to it. But and they've like the handheld games and shit.
Yeah.
Like they're all positive reviews on them for what they cost. But what I was going to say is like the whole China stealing your info. I guess when TEMU was first launched, it was people were worried or weary of them stealing your information. And I'm not saying I don't know. Be careful with everything that you do.
Of course,
but
always be very weary on stuff.
I think if your payment, I use PayPal on a lot. I would go that route.
PayPal's great
because they protect you, and they're not going to. PayPal is going to be an entity that has been around a long time, longer than the Venmos and the Cash Apps. Maybe Apple Pay, I think maybe that would be a good one too, that's solid. But these are the companies that are going to back you up if something goes wrong. And if something starts to go wrong, and it starts to stack up and there's a multitude of complaints, PayPal just won't work with that company.
We're not endorsed by them by any way.
PayPal?
Yeah. We're not plugging them.
PayPal.
We're just recommending, hey, this is something that can make your security.
PayPal, call us.
Oh yeah, give us a call on PayPal.
I'll plug PayPal.
Oh yeah, we'll do it
for free.
Yeah, well,
I like because again, I feel
slotting it
it's secure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like eBay for the longest time. You were kind of shit out of luck when I I'm a lot younger than you, but when I first got going on that, they didn't secure your purchase, and now they do. So it's
Now
kind of
it's
like
Yeah.
you can buy that used from some dude in fucking Michigan and feel like if you get fucked that you can get your money back from eBay.
Big time.
And PayPal's a lot the same.
Yeah,
So-
PayPal is huge on that. Like
Yeah.
I know I had a problem years ago. I tried to buy a drone from somebody, and I paid. And this took about a fucking month or so, but eventually PayPal like made it so that way this person that I bought it from was like, hey, either you send the fucking product,
Yeah.
or give this guy his money, and she gave me my money back. She had no other choice at this point.
Yeah, I mean, some people didn't give a shit if they went from like a 99 rating to a 98 to a 97, and just were ripping people off. They knew what they were doing. They were going to make that money on big items.
Yep.
And, then they would just get another account. That was like for the first few years of eBay, that was the way that everybody was doing shit. Rip people off, get another third, fourth, fifth account.
I don't think
And
they
then
do
they
that.
started to figure out, and I think IP addresses,
Yep.
I mean, eBay little by little just got smarter and smarter, and PayPal is like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
TEMU, I would, kitchen gadgets and this, that, and the other. As I was telling her the other day, where I was like pledging fucking Burlington. Yeah, dude, Burlington,
Yeah,
man, you got a baby, go there, dude, shit's cheap.
Yeah.
And TEMU shit is cheap. And so far, the cables and these kind of things,
Oh yeah, the
power strips and power banks and all that. Dude, you can get something like this, bro, for like $5. That thing's probably like $27 on Amazon.
Jeez.
Dude, if you're like that, go do yourself a favor and check it out. Again, just be careful with how you're paying for things.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know that I would put your credit card
No.
information into TEMU.
No, because we
Go
hear
get a
it-
PayPal account.
We
It's
hear
free.
it a lot, man. We hear it a lot where
Yep.
90-year-old Mildred sitting in her home, and she gets the phone call, and somebody's trying to rip her off with gift cards at
Yeah.
Best Buy or some weird shit like that, and people don't understand that this shit's it's a real scam.
My mother-in-law is like bait for that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's insane, dude. Like my
Sad.
phone goes through these tantrums, like seems like every other week, where off and on for the last month, I'll get email after email after email, no subject, and and then it'll go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and the amount of UPS alerts that I've got that I have a package sitting at the warehouse that is
Oh, yeah, I get those.
undeliverable
Yeah.
until
Come
I
pick it
give
up.
them my address. So you have my email address,
Yeah.
but you can't figure out how to get my address to get
Right.
a UPS. Yeah, so I mean, all that shit, man. Just be careful.
Yeah, yesterday I was on my way home from the gym, and I got these two text messages very close together of a confirmation code for Verizon, because that's the carrier I have. And I'm like, this is kind of bizarre. Then, about 20 minutes or so after the fact, I'm already home and all that, I get a call from California, and it's saying that, your Verizon account's going to be shut down, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, this doesn't add up. So I called my mom. I was like, hey, are you trying to get into the account or whatever? Because we have a family plan. We pay through, like a family plan. And she said no. And I told her, I was like, well, heads up, someone's trying to get into our account, and some really sketchy shit's about to happen. So just keep your eyes, open, because who knows what's going to happen.
Well, and yeah, I mean, anybody that's watching, listening to this is like, yeah, dude, we know that stuff. I mean, it's common knowledge at this point. But anyways,
think.
it was more so on the topic of TEMU that, again, people probably know about that. A lot of people don't. I mean, I'm pretty up on the eBays and the Amazons and the this, that, and the other. And I heard all the stories too, so I waited before I did anything. And then
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro, have you been on the site?
TEMU?
Yeah.
I bought two things out of it. It's actually stuff that I put in my office, my home office. They're actually like lights and stuff, and they're actually really nice. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, and I only paid like, I don't know, maybe $20 for them.
Yeah.
Or so.
It's fucking addicting.
It can be. I can see why. I haven't bought anything yet after that, but that's because I haven't been on it.
Well,
so.
dude, you can walk through like Walmart, you can go through this department and that department, you can go here and there or whatever, but man, the shit that you see that, And it's not like, I know there's a lot of people out there just buying worthless shit, trinkets and stuff on there.
Yeah.
But there's like some useful stuff and some shit that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, like that would, like this would work in your microwave, or, this thing for utensils to do so, this for grilling, or, but tools and specifically a lot of stuff. And like I said, man, the prices of this stuff for like $2 or $3, I mean.
They're cheap, man.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff you just gotta, I don't know that it seems like everything you see on there has like 4.5 out of 5 stars.
You gotta watch
it's
the
kind of like,
ratings.
you gotta watch. So don't look at the reviews overall, but again, I would stay away from certain gadgets. But even that being said, man, like I said, some gaming consoles, there's something like that, like a PlayStation that's on there that's a ripoff, and these guys put it on and they get it all connected and they start playing and they look at each other and they're like, wow, it's that good. And like monitors and, there's tablets on there that are, look, it's all Chinese stuff, but so is everything is Chinese stuff, So, but it's like, a fucking 10-inch tablet for like $60.
Yeah.
And $70. And I got one.
Yeah.
Just to have for certain stuff and whatever. And I mean, it's not an iPad. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no.
It's the screen clarity close, but not as great. It's got.
It's probably like an X-Pad or P-Pad or something like that.
Well, again, where do you think your iPad, your iWatch, your iPhones are coming from?
Yeah.
So Samsung is Japan. You know what I mean? Everything you're buying is. Yeah. Look, I get it. Nobody wants to support that any more than they have to, but you're buying everything from there as it is now. And until that changes, it is what it is. And the fact of the matter is, these companies are in such abundance. And I mean, there's videos too where there's these big electronic markets in China and Japan.
Oh, God.
And I watch those, and people are buying the iWatches.
They're buying it all.
And like the people are just whipping them a calculator because they don't speak English. And it's just, and they're like, it says like $700 or whatever for an iWatch. And I'm like, well, and you gotta realize what you're watching. That's in Japanese or Chinese currency.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what the fuck? That's pretty fucking close. And then, when they put it in US dollars, it's like, $75.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
It's an outrageous, because yen is at a whole different level. And I know yen's, I think, China, but I don't know what Japanese use. Japan might use something completely different.
I don't know.
But anyways, their value on their currency is a lot higher than ours.
Well, everything. It do quid and pounds. It's all different.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got to break out a calculator to see, but it's substantial. And they're all knockoffs. Well, the word knockoff, I mean, if you build cars and I build cars, and we you know what I mean? Because I mean, some of these watches, the same thing, they're reviewed and they're like identical to an iWatch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's maybe the screen resolution isn't as like perfect or whatever, but I mean, when you're talking about an $800 watch for the Ultra, I don't know. I don't want to promote like buying shit off of, but I mean, in the scheme of things, dude, some of these podcasters that do that shit say just like, how, if it's cost this much and we can buy it and it's almost identical, how badly are we being ripped off by Apple?
Yeah.
That's the point I guess I'm trying to make.
I can see that.
When an iPad is fucking $800, an iWatch is whatever, and our phones or whatever, and you can go over to China into these electronic, and they're identical products because God knows it could be made in the same fucking factory,
right.
And they're nothing. I mean, we're
you're paying for the name.
Well,
it's a brand.
There's stuff in the news about Apple getting, I don't know what they'll do with some of these companies, man, to like, this monopoly that they have and just the upcharge that, these people are becoming billionaires for a phone that's obviously $20 to make, or I don't know how it would trickle into Chinese currency or Japanese currency or whatever the case may be, but these items don't cost that much because that's what they're being sold for over there, and they're identical.
They're making a killing off this stuff.
So, do we sit here and do we blame the Chinese, or do we blame Apple?
I know.
You know what I mean? Because Chinese, I don't know, man. That's the discussion.
Apple's a technology
over there, people are working
conglomerate,
fucking 40 hours a day, and when there's only 20, it is what it is. You're not going to get the, I don't know. I'm not buying watches and iPhones off of TEMU, so
No,
I don't
I
think
would-
I'm killing anybody buying fucking little gadgets for $3. But like charging banks for your phone and the
Yeah.
cases and the things that go to the what's the Magna Life or whatever it is that the iPhones have, the cases,
yeah.
and then all that stuff, man. I mean, those things are useful things to have around the house.
God, yeah.
And these power banks go on Amazon, bro, for a good sized one that's 200-300 watt is $400 or $500. Well, not on Temu.
No, not on there.
Same thing. I mean, you got to be careful with all that stuff. One recommendation I'll have that I've noticed so far, just for people that don't know a lot about it, put shit in your cart and don't get one thing because you get one return per order.
Really?
Yeah. So So I don't know how that counts. I don't think they let you just keep returning stuff like Amazon does. And I think all that's going to come to an end or start to get a little bit more,
Really?
structure. Yeah, dude. If I told you on another tantrum here on shit, the amount of shit I buy on Amazon that goes back, bro, probably 85%.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That much?
Oh yeah. Well, dude, I buy sometimes hoodies and this, that, and it doesn't fit. It's shitty quality.
That's the scary part is when you're trusting, okay, say you wear a large, right? You get a large. Well, it fits like a fucking small now.
Well, because it's made in
you can
China
exactly.
or Japan. And it's made for, their sizing is for, I'm not going to get racist on people, but, the average Chinese are, this, so a large, when somebody's 5'8" over there, they're tall.
Yeah.
So if somebody's 6'4", it's not going to be a large.
No, I mean here it's different. It's like even in the Netherlands.
Sizing is different.
The Netherlands, I mean, people over there are taller over there naturally than they are over here in America and Canada. So, you got to be careful with the sizing. And that's what I worry about. Even shoe sizes, man. Everything's different. Every style and make and model is all just fucking different.
It's just, there's certain things you just get it, and it's not what you were looking for, or it's just not, as functional as you thought it was going to be, and you send it back.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking easy.
Very
easy. What I mean? So, look, that dude's a billionaire. but look what he created, man.
Yeah.
And I guess it, it does take away, I guess, the malls will be collapsing by all of that. But everybody, that was a decade ago that was all being said, that
still here.
the internet was going to be a place to do everything. Get your food, get your clothing, get your this, get your that. I mean, I'm still at Walmart 3 times a week buying something.
Yeah,
Forgot this, got to go back today,
We were at Walmart the other day, it was actually yesterday, and I wanted to go get some supplements. And before, they would just be on the shelf, in the open, you grab it, you put it in your cart, and you go. Now you go there, we went there last night, and it was locked up behind glass. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? It wasn't like this just a few weeks to a month ago.
Yeah.
And the guy came over and he's like, hey, this just started March 1st. So that tells me there's obviously a lot of theft going on with that specific department where supplements and all that stuff, like protein powders and pre-workout and all that other shit. So he's like, well, I can't let you take off with it. I got to put it up at the you done shopping? And we go, no, we're still going, right? He goes, all right, I'll leave it at aisle 8 or aisle 12. It was aisle 12. All right, 12. So in the whole time we were done shopping, we go, okay, he said 12. Well, we get to 12. Nobody's at the cash register. There is no supplement there. And I just told my wife, I go,
I'm done.
Fuck this. I'm going to buy it online.
Yeah.
And it's stuff, and nothing, it's not the store's fault that people are going in there and ripping them off. But at the same time, it's it's costing them money both sides. Because people like me are just fuck it, I'm not going to do this.
And it's geographical because, when I come up here and shop, I see it in more departments than where I live.
Yeah.
And I noticed it first, when we were traveling and, taking vacations, California, bigger cities in Florida. I mean, these people are walking in stores and just filling bags and walking out, and there's no ramifications. And security's not going to get involved and even stop them.
No.
So where you're just like you're talking just normal, fucking vitamin C, vitamin D, that's all, not in Batavia. No. See, and that.
They're not locking that shit up over there, huh?
It might be at some point.
At some point.
Gadgets for your iPhone, like the pop sockets and the cables and all that. That was never locked up, and now it is. And it is in Batavia. And I think the more that this shit keeps happening, now there's all this drama about the fucking self-serve. Well, is that what? I'm probably saying that wrong.
Self-checkout.
Self-checkout. Sorry. That's now they're going to start closing those. Some stores are, and maybe do away with them because of the theft already. Where it's like, scan one for you, one goes in the bag for me.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the hard part, man, is like, what do you do with these self-checkouts? Because you're putting your trust in people that aren't, A, getting paid to do this checkout shit, and C, they're walking out with the stuff, obviously. Because now they have people that are just standing at the door looking at your receipts and making sure you're taking the stuff that you say you bought, and it's a calamity.
Well, and the thing that you think about is like, so where I live, there's, let me just take a visual in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm going to say. Self-checkout, well, that's not the ones with the belts. So then there's probably 11, 12, 13, 14, I don't know, then the other end, I don't know, Jesus. But there's 2 people or 3 manning those.
Yeah.
Like there's one kid standing at a thing where you got to go to enter the little area that they're in.
Yep.
Then there's at least one girl kind of like somewhere else standing around to help you. So I'm happy they're there.
Oh God.
Because if something goes wrong or beer, ID, whatever, then there's usually a person standing just outside of that. And then you've got at least one more person at the door. So
the final
1,
boss.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 at the other end. Give or take, maybe 1 or 2 people. There's fucking 10 people that are just standing there to watch you doing shit at the checkout. And there's, 15 or 20 I mean, can we just go back? Why don't we just go back to fucking people, I don't mind.
That's a lot of money for staffing, too, when you think about it.
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, well, how many people did we lose? When you got 5 people there and 5 people there.
What sense does it make?
Yeah, I mean, you could have had them at fucking registers.
Right.
And then 10 more registers would be open.
It's funny.
I like it though, because I think that,
Yeah.
Most times in my town, city, whatever, the shit's open. So I can boom, boom, boom. If I've got 5, 10 things, bing, bang, I'm out.
Yeah.
Rather than having to when the days when they only had fucking 5 people on and their line was out 7 people, you had 5 items in your cart, 5 people in front of you are like, the shit's fucking stacked under it, on top of it, and fucking people, the son and daughter got fucking paper towel under their arm, and you're in there for a half hour just standing in line.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't go away, because I can sort of get in and out just by like blasting through, because dude, everything I do, I'm on a fucking lightning bolt, bro.
Same here, man.
I like
Just
walk.
in and out.
Yeah, dude, I have no patience. Like I don't have anxiety about anything. My daughter wife can tell you, but like waiting in a line,
Yeah,
it's horrible at that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yep. Take me to Disneyland, dude. I need meds.
Yeah.
to get through, like planes now and shit.
Dude.
Like I find the older I get, man, the less I can sit still, and I think that's great, because it's, you know what I mean. I'm not.
You don't want to.
I'm not losing momentum. I'm not. Yeah, dude. I'm like, me.
Yeah, man.
I mean, what little bit I'm out and about. I'm never really home. It's like, I got to be doing something, man. But I just do not I do not wait well.
No, I'm the same way, man. Like when I got here at Montage Music Hall to do this, I was like, hey, man, I don't know how people sit around at home all day, every day doing nothing. I would just fucking go insane. Like today has been nothing but busy, just rucking and getting content done and having, food.
Trying to find, where we're going to figure.
We're here.
Yeah, fit this in. And
bro, it's I'd rather be busy than to be fucking doing nothing. And for people that, are out with an injury or something and are going through maybe some physical rehabilitation or something like that, and they're not able to get out as much, I feel bad for them. Like, I've been there, man. I had back surgery at 25, and I was just fucking at home doing nothing because I couldn't really go anywhere, do anything.
Yeah, it sucks.
And it sucked. And I'm like, dude, I look back at that now, I'm like, don't take fucking mobility for granted, because if you do, you're going to probably end up in that same spot, and then you're gonna be like, oh shit, I'm back here again.
Yeah, get out, man. Take a walk. Do something.
Do something. I mean, enjoy. Today's beautiful. Fucking, it's a little chilly, but that sun being out changes everything.
Oh yeah.
And I don't give a shit what anyone says. When that sun hits, it's like everything becomes just that much better.
This is why everybody's flocking out of these states, man, like this. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but you know, it's our conversation in our house, and has been for a while, that, you know, these winters, man, the older you get, the more you realize why, you know, there was the term snowbirds, you know, and I mean, again, you know, some of these other states are a little more lenient. The taxes are better too. That's another incentive. And now it's almost like so many people have done it. It's just as expensive to live there. You know, yeah, you can save on property taxes, this tax, but your fucking car insurance is triple what it is here. And so, I mean, it's kind of like a give and take, but there's no doubt that this kind of weather just makes you feel better. You're more productive. It's better for your mood. It's better for your health. Yeah, so that's as far as I'll go, is like how long I'll be around. You know, I mean, I don't, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, but.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a conversation I've had with my family, too, my wife. And,
well,
you know.
And not to, you know, and anytime, and there's, if there's one of these, a couple of guys in bands, man, that, you know, I have this conversation. You know, if you're young and you're thinking about it, don't keep thinking about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes that it just seems like, well, you know, and these people are here and my in-laws are here, and it's like, well, you know what? But that's a great place for them to come vacation and see you.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be any further than like South or North Carolina. You know, there's just states that like get 300 days of sun, and we're like, you know, the fucking flip of that sometimes, man.
Yeah.
We get like 3 months.
You
know, and that's not all sun.
No.
So, you know, it's just not healthy. And you know, up here, dude, it's I don't know. Look, I'm not gonna rag on Rochester, Buffalo, or anything like that. But I mean, you know, when you go on these vacations and you're Bonita Springs and Tampa and Fort Myers and whatever, I mean, it's just a whole other way of life.
It is.
You know, everything is nicer and cleaner, and you know, the sunshine is great, and people are out and about all year long. California, I mean, that's my ultimate, you know.
Yeah.
Florida's Florida, and there's a lot of old people there. California is like a whole other vibe.
Never been
Old people there are young people, if you get what I'm saying.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that I'm not closer to that coast. I lived there for a bit, and that would be my ultimate place to go and live. I have family in Florida, but, you know, the sun is just, you know, you go down there this time of year, bro, and you spend like 10 days and you're out at the pool every fucking day, just catching sun, and then, you know, a couple of cocktails, and, you know, you go in and shower and go someplace and sit out on a fucking patio and, you know, have a burger or and another beer or two at 7 o'clock at night, and you're in shorts and a shirt in fucking January and February. You're like, what the fuck am I doing?
I know.
What the fuck am I doing?
It's definitely something that eventually I would like to make that change. You know, and it's again, you talk about the family part of it, and you talk about, you know, we live here, right? We were so used to this place. Like Rochester, for instance, it's a culture here. I went to Kansas City for a month, and not to live or anything, it was for a company that I was trying out. And not for nothing, but homesickness is real. But Kansas City, I mean, dude, there's so much to do down there and all that. But, you know, that was because I was away from my wife, my family, and all that. But there's also the culture part of it. Like, there's no garbage plates, you know. There's no metal scene like it is up here.
But you know what, dude? Look, you know, so I'm going to chime in and just say, though, you got to give everything time. You know, you get a crown on a tooth and it bothers the fuck out of you for a month, but you get used to it, you know. You get a new vehicle and the backup camera isn't the same, and it's like I fucking hate the backup camera in this vehicle, and you get used to it. Yeah. You know, so for whatever wisdom I can fucking enlighten on this topic, it's like, you know, dude, you got to give everything in life a fucking chance. You'll get used to it. I mean, people lose limbs in life, you know. I mean, they learn to live with that's a bad example, but it's an extreme example. But you know what I'm saying?
But still,
and you know, you can't. I guess what I'm saying, dude, is, you know, like as an older dude with wisdom, that like I don't, you know, take away from where I am and what I did and the decisions you make or whatever. But when you're young, man, it's like, you know, you either do it or, you know, and I'm not saying I regret it per se, but, you know, don't put those obstacles in front of you. Yeah. Because everything works itself out. You know, for every fucking garbage plate, there's fucking crab, or there's, you know, this kind of seafood, or, you know, I mean, so you just, You know, you gotta, California has its own something,
I'm
you know.
sure, yeah.
Fucking Florida has its own something. You know, and I mean, fuck, dude, you miss a fucking garbage plate, go get some ground beef and,
I was just gonna say,
you know,
start your
some
own
fucking
restaurant.
home fried potatoes and fucking
Shit.
mac salad and fucking make them yourself.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, man, everything that is up here trickles.
Yeah.
You know, like years ago, you know, you started to wear buffalo wings, you know,
Right.
they didn't know how to fucking make them, right? You know, and subs, you know, wasn't a thing down there. There's sub shops now. You know, I don't know if it's like you know, if it's Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's, but you know, California has a Jersey Mike's. I mean, you know, so there's a lot of pizza places and wings and shit down there. It's hit and miss. It's not like here where all of them are great. But
Yeah.
you know, I mean, if you're gonna, I know you're just generalizing.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna like, you know, dude, I can't move.
No, I mean,
can't- fucking
that's-
garbage plate, bro. Florida doesn't have
that's-
garbage plates.
So that's the goal, man. That's definitely
Florida
the
has
goal.
sunshine.
I don't know if it would be Florida. It'd be somewhere, but it would
Yeah.
be somewhere where that sunshine is coming through.
Yeah.
Because it's very noticeable, man. And I go through seasonal depression and all that. And honestly, this year has been actually the better year after all these other years because I started doing cold water therapy. And that helps kick in the dopamine levels.
Yeah.
You know, I do that in the morning so that way I can get all that dopamine in.
Where do you do that?
I just go in the cold shower, man. So
yeah, and they say that it's not the optimal of
it's
you
not,
know or whatever.
It's not like cold water submersion.
But it does help, yeah.
It does help from what I've experienced myself. So my goal is to buy a cold plunge. You know, I'm not looking to spend $5,000 on a fucking cold plunge, but you don't have
Yeah,
to.
dude, go to Amazon or whatever.
Yeah,
they have
exactly.
these fucking rubber like tubs and shit now,
That's all
bro.
you need.
Yep.
Get some ice in there.
Yep.
Get that nice insulated, you know,
Yep.
top over it, and you're good
Those
to go.
water barrels that they sell at like places that are, I mean, they're not cheap either, but they're not the cost of those.
Yeah.
And people just get like one of those little plastic step things, fill it up with ice every morning or whatever. I mean, go buy a bag of ice or I mean, there's ways to do it.
Go get a hog tank from
Do you
like
know that they say though, like
Country Max or something.
people say like a shower only gets down to like 70 degrees or something like that? Does that?
Very, very untrue.
I was gonna say, go in there with a thermometer. 'Cause
I did.
I tell you, man, when you.
I know what I'm going into. And I'll tell you
So
exactly.
where
what
do
it
you
is.
think your shower can get down to?
So I have a thermometer I use, and I use it periodically to test it. Now I'm going to test it as it gets warmer out and all that stuff, because the coldest it gets, because I put that bitch all the way down, it's 43 degrees.
No shit.
43-degree water, and honestly, you don't really need to go too far. They say if you want to start out to probably go anywhere between 50 to 55, 60 maybe max, just to kind of ease yourself into this type of thing. But 43-degree water is what I'm entering every morning when I wake up.
All right, so I have a meat thermometer, like several.
Yeah.
I'm going to, by the next podcast, I'm going to check that out.
Try it
Gonna
out.
go in there, let it run cold,
Yeah.
stick that fucker under there.
See how
Because
cold it
I
gets.
could swear on like some YouTubes and stuff, people say that like you can't get a shower that cold. But
Oh,
they do
that's
caveat it by saying that, you know, it is, if you go in there as cold as you can get it, and you're in there for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, you know,
3
because
minutes.
you can stand that more than like an actual, you know,
Well, you'd think.
Longer.
You'd think. Well, so
how long you hang.
the max I've done is like 4 minutes, and you know, my first time getting into that thing was to get into that cold water, man. It's a fucking mental barrier. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't like it initially. My first shower with that cold of water, minute and 20 seconds I got out of there. I said I can't fucking do this. But the next day after that, I worked up my way to like 2, and now I average anywhere between 3 and 4.
That's good. They say, dude, don't even try it without like going into it with like a mental,
Yeah.
you know, you got to like psych yourself up.
You have
You've
to.
got to calm yourself totally. You've got to start to our alarm's going off. You got to take deep breaths. And I don't know if that thing will just keep going.
It
But
might.
we'll probably end at some point anyway. But they just say you've got to, you know, you got to mind over matter that situation, dude. And then you've got to get your breathing nice and calm. And you just got to like, you know, kind of be in that state doing it. Or else you will work yourself up to where you're not going to get the advantage of it because you're getting so much anxiety or raising your heart rate and it's not. So then it's fucking up the shit that you're supposed to be getting from it.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's a whole mental game, man. And, you know, I was doing some research, and people that do cold immersion, like cold plunges and all that, say after doing that, cold showers are actually harder for them to do just because it's, I don't know how to explain it, man, but it's like, they acknowledge it as like, it feels like pins and needles, whereas when you get in the cold water, eventually it's just like, you know what I mean? So I don't know.
And there's people on podcasts now that say, like, if you do live up north and you live in, cold temperatures, going outside in a pair of shorts and a t-shirt is the same fucking effect.
Yep.
So we don't, so I mean, if there's anything that we can take away that's good about winter, it might be the just walk outside in shorts and a t-shirt or no shirt at all in the winter to get the same effect.
I've had people come up and ask me, "Oh, well, don't you get sick? Don't you catch a cold?" I go, "No, honestly,
that's what it's supposed to prohibit."
Well, it does, and to be honest with you, knock on wood, I have been fine this winter. The seasonal depression has been alleviated. It's not gone away permanently. I don't think you can ever do that. But it definitely helps my mood for sure. And on top of that, it does help with you not getting sick as much as like before. So there's something to it.
I tell you, man, I feel for y'all. I really do. And we'll end on this because I don't want to keep going. But y'all, your age group and whatever, man, you got it tough. I mean, we went to school and it's anxiety and it's depression. We were all bullied, but that, and there were people that would, you didn't want to go into that atmosphere. You'd go down to the park and there was that group of kids and it was whatever, but it's just different, man. Y'all, this Facebook and these social media, and I know I sound like a fucking dated old fart when I talk this way, but being somebody that, has lived in both cultures, and because of what I do for a living, I'm probably more involved with it than most people are because I have to be, because Facebook is a means to marketing this business. It doesn't have to be for a guy that owns plumbing. He can have a Facebook page, but he's really not monitoring it, the way that I have to constantly be creating content, and then what that content, what the response to that is, whether it's good or bad. I mean, we just went through it a little bit, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's for me, I can wade through it a little bit more, but it seems like a lot of what you say you probably, we've never talked about that. This is the first time you've brought it up, but I know everyone. It's like that. Sometimes I think, Harold, you probably have woken up some days and been in a great mood, and everything's going great. You look outside in the morning and the sun's out and you fucking stretch and you go do your cold thing, and then you get on Facebook and like something just triggers your mental state for some reason to where it's like the whole rest of the day you're fucked because whatever that was you saw, you didn't like, or you felt like you don't have it, or, that's what that does.
Yeah.
And look, I'm trying to bite my tongue, but I know that there's people out there that I know, that are being affected by that. Media. Look, there's a lot of good with social media. I mean, my wife sits and, fucking I hear her chuckling like a child, it's like, and she's watching these fucking like videos on Reels or whatever. So, and I've posted before and got a lot of positive comments about it. It seems like when I wake up in the morning, except for fucking X, Twitter, X, because in my notifications, that's always fucking garbage.
That's terrible.
And I'm just like, fuck you, and I should just shut off those. But for the most part, when you go, it seems like Facebook and Instagram first thing in the morning are full of garbage. It's like throughout the day is just when everybody then wakes up and just starts, and then there's the negativity and the this and the that, and that's why I've said before, I get on, I do my shit, I post my stuff, I put my videos up there, I do this, I do that, I get the fuck off. And then I don't really look to see who's responded at all. I don't check that, you know what I mean? Like when there were certain things going on, it was like other people were like, dude, did you know? I'm like, oh no, I didn't see it. And I don't even, it's like, and then I'm like, well, I'll, because I'll say this, there's multiple people that have access to the Montage page. People might not know that. So they're monitoring it as well as I'm monitoring it. It's
true.
And you're one of them. So you can shut shit off. You can delete a comment. If there's something going on, you're like, Randy, this is up there. I'm like, so I've already said, dude, you see something that's just stupidity, negative nonsense, not just like, a comment that, you know, I thought the ticket price was too high on the show or whatever the case may be. Okay, that's, you know, whatever.
Right.
But if it's just douchebaggery, Harold, delete it.
Get rid
You know what I mean? And then, because I'm not on it 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
so
me neither, man.
I might not see it. So you and there's other, you know, I'm not going to just, you're here, so I'll, you know.
Yeah.
But there's other people that are working at this venue, for this venue, as part of this venue, that have access to the page. And all of its content, and can do stuff. So
Yeah.
it's not just me that is monitoring our page, and it should be that way.
Yeah.
You know, and every business should have people like, you know, enter more people into the page, make them advisors or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and
Advertisers.
And on that note, everything you see on social media, take with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, you know, what you might think is extravagant in someone's life might actually be the opposite. That post where they're looking happy and everything's going great, that actually might be one smidgen of time in their life where the rest of it is complete, utter garbage, like where they're having the most trouble. You know, they might be going through a divorce, they might be going through some hard times financially, they might have just lost their job, but, you know, you might actually have it, in the end of the day, better than they do.
Well, I was just going to say, and even if they don't, and everything is peachy keen,
Yeah.
and their day is great, and they're rich, and they're healthy, so
So be it.
thumbs up to those people. Why do you always got to look at it like, and you know, stop chasing that.
Stop chasing.
Don't chase what other people do. Do it yourself. If it's something that you're jealous of, do it yourself.
Yeah.
And don't do it in a facetious way.
Yeah.
Go out and earn it.
So will that
Because the time that it takes
Yeah.
for you to put negative energy into something else is time away from the energy you could be putting into positivity to getting something done.
Yeah.
If you want to be on a beach, fucking go take 2 weeks off and go fucking do it.
Go on the beach.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that difficult. Not everybody can afford it, but
Right.
you know what? I mean, then drive and do it.
Yeah.
You can drive 14 hours or whatever and get somewhere that's sunny and warm. You know, that's my biggest, you know,
Yeah.
pet peeve with this shit. It's like, dude, don't be jealous of the other guy, because you're wasting your energy.
Yeah.
You know, constantly trying to one up somebody else in life is not going to get you anywhere.
No, it's not going to get you anywhere. And with that being said, stop looking for a table to sit down and eat at when you can have your own table, your own clan, and do your own thing. Just put your head down, grind it out. Don't let the noise outside just
Exactly, dude.
bother you.
Look inside your own house, your own business sometimes, dude. Are you healthy? Do you have your mother and father and they're healthy?
Right.
Are your siblings healthy? Are your children healthy? Because that means more than, you know, this monetary bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is where people just have to learn that. And I think, again, seeing all these content creators and these people that, you know, make money and big things doing this, and they're on, and I'd like to do that and whatever. That's not why we're doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dude, I'm not gonna be a millionaire from fucking doing a podcast.
No.
We do this because, like, I enjoy it. You know, I did it
Yeah.
before. I like talking about different shit, and you know, the goal here again is to get, you know, and I'm getting on it. I was telling you, I finally tackled this, you know, the way to work around StreamYard, and I didn't like Zoom and whatever. So now that I've learned that, I know I'm not going to fuck it up and try to get a hold of somebody to do a podcast in another state. It's like, hang on a minute. Did you get the invite? Are you there? I don't see you. Do you see me? Can you hear me? You know, I'm not going to do that. So
It's
until
like
I know
Verizon.
I've got that down perfectly, I'm not. So there will. It's all coming together. But
Yeah.
you know, it's you do you. Just do you.
It's a true story.
You know, and that's that. I mean, and again, that's the whole thing with fucking social media, man. You know, don't worry. You know, I don't know. If you're watching something, you're watching it because you enjoy it. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it, and that should be okay.
That should be okay.
You know, I mean, look, try to better yourself. I'm not saying don't try to make that, you know, 6-figure income or more, but don't dwell on if you can't.
Right.
You know, people have their own. There's blessings that you have in life that other people don't. Look at those before you look at, you know, thinking like you said. Even if there is somebody that you're jealous of, that they could have something going on that you don't know about.
Exactly.
And you know, they're more often than not, dude. Those people in some way if you were to sit down and have a conversation about, this is what I do and here's where I live and here's what I've got, and I got a daughter and she's this and she's that person was probably jealous of you for some of the things that you have that they don't. They're not married. They work, so many hours. They never get to see this or get to do that. Yeah, I've got a mansion. Yeah, I've got a car. Yeah, I can go to this and that. But I don't have a wife. I don't have a child. I don't have, blah, 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 blah. I don't get kissed on the way out the door. Don't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are the monetary shit. How many people, celebrities, do you hear on podcasts or interviews saying that money doesn't make you happy?
Yeah.
I don't totally believe that. I mean,
there's a partial to
it. It would be nice to just pick up and say, like, I don't have to do anything for 3 weeks, and I'll just go to Aruba or but stop. Yeah.
I agree and disagree with that statement only because money's not going to be able to pay away away your health, your mental health issues or anything like that. But I guess it does alleviate that stress and that.
No, exactly what I was saying.
Of all your
it
bills
doesn't. It
and
doesn't.
Shit like that.
Absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can afford better doctors. You can.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. I chimed in on myself and said, it is, but it's not everything. And there's people that commit suicide that or whatever
still,
that are.
Look at all these celebrities that they find unfortunately deceased in their homes, and then they find out that they did something to themselves because they just couldn't handle life. And it's like, well, some people are like, well, they were millionaires, well, they were famous. Well, you don't know what the fuck they're going through, and that's just it, man.
Yep.
So.
And it could be just because they're on that treadmill, man, just trying to grind away to chase something that just they've already got. So just be happy with what you got. Anyways. Well, we'll leave it on that note, my man.
All right, man.
We'll be back in a week or whatever. I'll have a bundle of TEMU shit. That's going to take a minute. So we might be a longer podcast as we wade through some gadgets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not stuff that I bought to just do a podcast on, but I want to just show people kind of like what's out there. I think it's fun. If you haven't been watching these kind of things, you'll watch me go through it and check that out. And that's another thing, dude. I mean, TEMU is like taking on tons and tons of people to do these unboxings for them.
Yeah.
Where they're not paying you per se, they're giving you like $100 budget to just buy whatever you want.
That's cool.
And so, like, dude, I'm all about that, man. I have to. If anybody knows how to do that, I'm trying to track that down somewhere.
Yeah, let them
where
know.
I can contact TEMU and be like, yo, bro. So I got a podcast. I'm more than willing to throw me the $75 or $100 budget. I'll buy a bunch of stuff. Every couple of weeks, we'll do a TEMU unboxing. I'll show you some weird shit. We'll go outside maybe with cameras. And, I know they have a ton of like drones and shit on there. Most of them look like those are things that do not get good ratings. I mean, I think some of that shit, like that technology, you're going to get what you pay for.
Yeah.
But I'm all about, doing shit like that. I think it's fun. We can't, we're not going to be doing everything. I'm not going to be buying shit on Amazon. And
no.
I did see something in my inbox today that Amazon wants everybody to know they have these like warehouses and stuff now, and you can buy used things on Amazon that are a lot cheaper.
Okay.
I think that's something that they're just starting to advertise now. I think that Amazon, keep your eye out for the warehouses. We have a couple in our area, do we not?
Yeah, I think there's one out in Gates.
So in some of the major cities, and it might be California or whatever, their warehouses are doing like sales where you go to the warehouse. And I don't know where it was, but I was watching a podcast. The fucking line was
wrapped.
Oh, dude.
All the way around.
But, you go in there and like get iPhones and this, that, and the other for like nothing because they were all returns or some shit is like partially damaged or whatever. So all that stuff is going on. I mean, who doesn't like a fucking bargain?
I know.
Anyway. All right, brother.
All right, man.
Check our calendar for shows. We got new metal this weekend. I can't remember what else. Got some gimme discos going on and some more Emo Night Brooklyn's coming up and this, that, and the other. And
Emo Night
he's
Brooklyn's
got guests coming up on M-Balm.
Yeah, the M-Balm Effect. We have Julie LaCroix, the photographer from Buffalo. She'll be on with us on the 27th of this month here in April. So check that out. That's going to be fun, man. I'm somebody who's into photography, and I know you are. I love photos. I love videos. I love all that stuff. So this is something I'm really interested in. We're going to dive deep into the world of photography and everything else in between. Probably music, too.
Lesson this week and thing I'll close with on mine, and let me know what you want to close with. Just be good to each other, man.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be
Go
nice.
out there, get it, and as a community, help each other elevate and grow, and stay in your lane.
Peace.